It's getting hard for 86-year-old Clara Holcomb to get around. Luckily, her new apartment in Collinsville has a ramp. She and her daughter Mary used to live in this Mascoutah apartment building, but the door's high threshold became an obstacle.
It would take two of us to get Mom in and out of the apartment.
Both Clara's doctor and physical therapist wrote letters saying she needed a ramp. Mary asked management if she could install one herself.
And that's when I got the answer that we would be discriminating against the other tenants.
Mary thought maybe they could find them a different apartment.
And she said no, there was nothing available and it would be in our best interest to move out.
So first they're told they can't have a ramp, and then they're told they have to move out. Seems harsh, but things were about to get worse.
They sent us a letter stating that we owed them $1,594.
Are you kidding me? The landlord now threatening them with prosecution. And incredibly, the biggest charge, almost $1,200, is for breaking the lease. Who would do a thing like that? The answer is Baleco Properties in Mascoutah. Mike Colombo from Channel 4. We're here to speak about Mary and Clara Holcomb. They lived on 7th Street.
We can't comment on that at this time. We don't actually, so we need to ask you guys to leave.
Can you explain why they were unable to have ramps put in at their apartment when they were actually going to pay for those? And now the company is charging them over $1,000 to get out of that lease? Can you explain that?
I don't know anything about it. You need to leave our property and our property lines out there.
May I ask you one thing? This is from your company, am I right?
No.
This isn't Baleco Properties?
Not me.
After this visit, voicemails, and an email, we've still heard nothing from Baleco Properties. State officials tell us under federal and state laws, Baleco should have at least allowed the women to install a ramp at their own expense. Mary Holcomb now tells us she's considering filing a complaint under the Illinois Human Rights and Fair Housing Acts. We'll let you know what happens. I'm Mike Colombo, News.
So when I deep clean a stove, I mean I literally take it apart.
Peggy Blair knows clean. She's owned her own cleaning company for decades. She also knows dirty and says she's the victim of some dirty dealing. Have you ever had a client take this long to pay you?
Never. Never, never, never.
Peggy cleaned for years at the fashionable Montclair on the Park apartments across from Forest Park. 2 years ago, she stopped because the owners stopped paying her.
Since then, I've had one payment in 2 years of $550 for 2 invoices, but I still have several invoices totaling $2,255 that are not paid.
And enough is enough. You want your money.
Oh, yes, I definitely need my money.
You can call this the story of Peggy and Goliath. In this case, Goliath is Conner Properties, owner or manager of 21 apartment communities in St. Louis and many more in 4 states. Conner occupies the entire 13th floor in the University Club Tower in Richmond Heights. Wait, 13th floor? Oh, that's not a good sign. Still, I decided to pay them a visit on Peggy's behalf. Anyone who might be able to speak to Peggy Blair, Superior Cleaning Company. A Conner officer tells me the company has around 20 staffers in the office and 200 more out running their buildings. Yet they couldn't find anyone to talk about Peggy's invoices. There's got to be someone else here who's familiar with the account. I got tired of waiting. Peggy is tired of waiting too.
It really hurt me. I had a real struggle that first year until I finally got my feet squared away. And, you know, I've learned to live without it, but it would be real nice to get it.
Well, Peggy, we got better than nice. We got great. Oddly enough, on the same morning I was in Conner's offices, someone from Conner called Peggy to settle the score. After 2 years of waiting, Peggy is finally getting paid. In fact, she just got the first check. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4.
We bought this ring in 2007 when we got engaged.
When Z bought this sterling silver wedding ring for her husband, she wanted it to last forever. So
I paid $39.99 for the warranty, and I bought it because your size changes, and it's a good value.
Good idea, because sure enough, the ring needs to be resized. She bought it at Zales in Chesterfield Mall. At the end of October, she took it in.
They told us that in order for us to resize it, since there has been inflation and the cost of protection plans have increased, that we need to pay them more.
What? Pay more? But it's a lifetime warranty. See? Says so right there. And one of the covered services? Yep, there it is. Sizing. She called a district manager to complain, but that didn't go so well.
Shelly says, "Why do you need to resize your ring?" And he started laughing. "Why else would you need to resize a ring?" And I go, "Well, because the size has changed, that's why." And she got mad at me. She started screaming.
All joking aside, the couple thinks this issue is clear. Lifetime means lifetime.
This is a lifetime protection. This is their contract. I paid my part. They must hold their end of the bargain and resize this ring. That's all I see.
They're not the only ones who see it that way. Zales is based in Irving, Texas. The Better Business Bureau there shows 41 complaints over the last 3 years about guarantees and warranty issues. Despite that, we do want to point out Zales does have an A+ rating there.
I don't know what they're doing, but it's not good business.
Well, guess what? Zales Corporate agrees. The day after we contacted headquarters, Z got a call from Texas and an apology. She was told the new pricing only applies to warranties sold after 2009. She bought hers in 2008. Zales is now making sure all their sales associates across the country get it right. And by the way, a new ring is now on order, and it will be the right size. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4.